Hello everyone, VegasVic1965. I'm here with Noah. Hey Noah, how's it going, buddy?
Hi.
What are we doing today?
We're doing an Iron Farm 1.16.1 release.
That's right. We're going to do an iron farm. Now this iron farm will work for 1.14 all the way to 1.16.1. That's the present. It's the only iron farm that I've seen so far that works at every single one, especially back in 14.0 when it came out. We had that gossip system. So if you were anywhere along the lines of that 14.0 all the way to 16.1, this will work. It will also get you, on average, a iron golem approximately every 35 seconds. If that's what you're looking for something that's guaranteed to work in any of those versions, then this video is for you. So, without further ado,
let's find out.
welcome back everyone, VegasVic1965 along with Noah. There he is.
Hi.
Now listen, the iron farm that we're going to build here, you can actually build right in the middle of a village. However, this is something you need to pay attention to. This is a spawnable block on top of, I guess the roof, you'd say, of one of the houses. So I strongly suggest that you build, if you happen to build in a village, that if you have any blocks like this, that you need to go at least 12 blocks above this last spawnable block. That way you don't get any iron golems that spawn there, and you want them all to spawn on your platform. So let's take a look at what we're going to need for this build. If you can see, we need about 6 oak fences. We're going to need approximately 40 oak fence gates. You'll need some lava, some water. You'll need 2 trapdoors, some redstone dust, just 1 piston, 1 lever. That's going to be used to get our zombie in place. You're going to need the block of your choice. I would say at least about maybe 7 to 10 stacks. Same thing with the glass blocks. You'll need probably a stack or so of the slab of your choice. You'll need 18 beds for this design. You can go with less if you want. I would say at least probably 12 to 18 beds is probably good enough. You'll need some hoppers, some chests. You'll also need the workstation of your choice. It really doesn't matter what you put in there. If you plan on using this for a trading hall like I've done in the past, then sure. But I strongly suggest that you cycle through those guys before you bring them up there, or set off an area in the iron farm area itself to cycle them through before you put them in general population, which you'll see shortly. And then of course you need some torches to light it up. So let's get started. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I want to do is probably set down a chest. Now you can add more chests to this if you wanted to. And behind that, I'm going to put some hoppers, just 4 hoppers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go off into our corners. Here, 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 and thank you, Noah. And then from here, if you can decorate this up however you like. You can use the new blocks if you want. From here, I'm probably going to go with glass all the way up to the corners. Now, just remember that if you go all the way up, if it's a spawnable block, there's a chance you're going to get an iron golem. So we're going to go ahead and build this up. Okay, so we've built this up 15 blocks high. We're going to put our signs in down below. And the signs are going to go on the second glass block up. Excuse me, Noah.
Oh, sorry, I thought I could help.
There we go. We got our signs in place. And we are going to eventually put the lava source blocks right on top of that. But right now we're going to go up top and we're going to build out from here. So you pick one of the edges. I've got this facing the front, as you can see the chest down there. And from here I'm going to go back 8 blocks. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to go up 1 block. And I'm going to go back 2. That's 2. And then we're going to build ourselves a lip. So you can see there's 2 here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That way when we drop a water source here, it'll continue all the way to this spot right here. And we're going to do this with both sides. Okay, so you notice we have our blocks. We've gone back 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've gone up 1 block and back. So we have 2 here, and then we have our lip. The iron golem is going to fall off the platform here, land here, and they'll go right down into our lava trap below. Now the front of this, I went ahead and put 3 glass blocks in height. Now you don't need these blocks here because there's glass blocks above that will actually hold the water back. I just like the symmetry. I like to make it look good. So it's up to you. You can save yourself some blocks if you want to. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and start out where our villager pod is. And our villager pod is going to be 6 wide. The inside will be 4 wide. So we're going to start off with the first 2 center blocks you see above the glass here. And then we're going to go 2 blocks on each side. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to go up 1 more glass block. And this is where the villagers will actually be standing on. Well, on the beds. We're going to go back 16 blocks from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now over here with these, the lava flow that we're going to have these be spawnable blocks, because these are the blocks we want the iron golems to spawn on. So bring this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that should be 8 wide, which is perfect. And then from here, we're going to go back 8 blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to add 1 block and go up, come across. And from this block, we're going to go back 7 blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to fill this in on both sides, and we'll be right back. Okay, now you should have something that looks like this. We've gone back 8 over here. We've gone up 1 and gone back 7. And the reason for that is when you drop a water source block here, it will travel down to water always travels 8 blocks. So when it travels past hits the 7, it's going to drop down 1 and will continue on to 8. Then we'll drop 2 water sources down here later, and that will continue on to right here. One mistake that I want to point out that I made was this villager pod. I had said earlier that it went up 2. We actually need to add 1 more. So your height on that villager pod is 1, 2, 3 glass blocks up. It's still 16 blocks back. The next step we're going to be doing is building out the pod, and that's going to be 8 blocks in height all the way around. So we're going to build that and be right back. Okay, now that you have your blocks built, and you can notice here that we are 8 blocks high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now you need to make a spot in here for where your villagers are going to be entering. Now you can use a silk touch pickaxe to leave it open so you can get these guys in here, either from here or the other side or wherever you want to get them in. And if you wanted to, like Noah just did right here, you can put a slab in there. Now I personally keep them in the mine carts until I'm ready, but it's up to you. But if you do put the slab like Noah did, then they cannot get back out through there. Or even a trapdoor on the top. That'll keep them inside and they will stay. We are next going to work on the top up here, and that is because I know from 1.14 up to possibly 1.15.1 there was a chance, and I know it's kind of strange, that iron golems would spawn up on glass blocks for some unknown reason. So I've always put my water pathways up top to make sure that if we do get any spawns, that they'll fall right off on the edge. But if they have fixed it and they're not spawning for you, then you don't need this. But I always put this in. So we're going to go ahead and start out here. You're probably going to need to build yourself a little pathway block around it. I'm going to put some temporary blocks in here, like Noah's doing. We're going to set that up, and then we'll set our fence gates. Let me pull those down. Now our fences are going to go on the back of this. So they're going to run only across here, just like that. So that's what you need those 6 fences for. And then on the sides, we're going to put our fence gates, and we're going to open them. So once we get those all the way around, we're going to go ahead and open them all, and we'll be right back. Okay, now we've got all the fence gates up. You can actually remove all of these temporary blocks out of here, which we will do. But I know when I build this in survival, I always set myself a staircase. So when I do drop my water down, I'll be ready when it comes to this point that I can actually get off of there. So we're going to remove these. Go ahead and remove these temporary blocks, buddy. Some of them anyway. We're going to need this one here so you can actually get back off, because you'll be doing this in survival. Okay, Noah is going to add the water sources, and you're only, like I said, put 1 row. Go ahead, Noah, and get started. You can do, like I said, every other block, or you can do every source block on each one of these. And the reason for that is iron golems are too wide. So if you are standing in here, you can actually stay put. But since they're too wide, as soon as they move, as soon as they spawn in, they're going to fall right off over to here. Like I said, if you are not having the difficult or any problems with iron golems spawning up there, then you don't need this. But if you see them spawning up there, then yes, go ahead and put this in. So I left this in so you can see it. Now we'll get back down out of there and remove these blocks since we don't need them, and that part is done. And we're going to go inside and put ourselves some light sources, because you're definitely going to need some light sources in here. All right, now we need to get this guy upstairs. So you see we built ourselves a little, I guess you'd say a minecart rail system for him to get up there. Good. We'll give him a little shove. Off he goes into our little villager pod. And if you notice here, we've already set up the beds. There is 18 beds in here. And we have not cycled through him. But if it doesn't matter to you what their profession is, then you go right ahead and bring them up there. Set in your workstation blocks, and I'll show you what I mean. Right into this one right here. Because this is, once you cycle through them, that is where you're going to put your workstation for them to work at. They'll stand on top of these beds and work throughout the day. In this 1.16 version, you will not need a bell, but if you're playing on earlier versions like 1.14, you are going to need to put a bell somewhere inside here as a meeting point. But for the most part, this will work exactly the same. So we're going to set, I'm not concerned about it, but we're going to set all of our workstations in here and get them ready, because I'm really not going to cycle through them. I'm just going to use them for iron. I'll have a trading hall elsewhere, but I may come back and set these up for librarians in case these guys have some good trades. But again, I can't stress enough that you either want to set off an area right over here to cycle through, then push them into the general population area before you set down your lecterns. But it's totally up to you. You don't have to do that. So now that we've got our beds in place, there's, like I said, 18. I'm going to set up a pathway right here so they cannot get back out, and that's going to be running right across here. So I'm going to go the second block up. I'm going to use the top half slab, yes I know, but I'm also going to backfill that with glass all the way down, and this will keep any iron golems from spawning on the inside, but these guys cannot get out. Now remember, if you happen to bring 2 villagers up here like you've seen some of mine in the past, and you breed them, make sure that you set up some fences in here so the babies cannot get out. So you may want to set up something like this and put a fence gate here. That's only if you're going to breed a pair in there or breed some of the villagers to get what you need in there, because that's another possibility. Bring up 2 villagers and breed them to what you need, but those babies will get out if you don't put something there. So after that, once we get all our villagers in place, the next step is going to be to get our zombie in place and add our water, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that we've got all our villagers in place, Noah's going to add the water to the back here, and I'm going to add the slabs all the way around. So while he's adding the water, I'll add the slabs, and you're going to want to put this all the way around. And if you notice, this water is going to travel all the way, like we mentioned. 7 in this upper layer, 8 down here, and I'll add a water source.
Should I add it right here?
Yeah, please add 2 to the back, and you'll see that'll also flow nice and even. There it is. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side, Noah. And I'm going to go ahead and finish off with my slabs. You already got those. You're good. Go to the other side now and finish that up, buddy. And I may want to add 1 more. You don't have to, I don't believe, but I want to make sure my iron golems don't get lost. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. Now you can or can't, depending on if you get spawns of golems in here, you can add another layer here. I don't believe it is necessary though. And I always enjoy watching the, I want to call it the iron lectern in action. And that's what I'm going to be calling this iron farm, the iron lectern, because I've got my librarians. And it kind of looks like a lectern, doesn't it, Noah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, we are back, and we're getting ready to bring our zombie in. Now, I built a staircase, and what I wanted to show you, which was extremely important, is this is the block that you want to set, you want to make sure your zombie comes to. Now, if you notice, it is 1 block down from where the villager pod is. So that's the spot that you want to bring your zombie to. And I've set a trapdoor up top and a trapdoor here. But something more importantly that I almost forgot, and we need to do that right now, is we want to make sure that we set ourselves a slab or some sort of block that will block the sunlight so our zombie will not die. And then from here, I'll go ahead and place the trapdoor back. So make sure, and I wanted you to see that you put something here to block the sunlight so your zombie does not die. Now you got to remember that you're going to need to name tag your zombie, so get a name tag ready or drop him something that he will pick up. We are going to be using a name tag. So, as you can see here, our little trap, I can get through. Either Noah, I'm going to probably have Noah do it. So Noah's going to lead the zombie up here who's going to follow him all the way around here. Now this is a 2-block height. We'll go over this in detail so you definitely understand. The zombie's going to come in here and try and follow. But what I'm going to do when he gets close enough is drop that trap door. And he's going to want to come after me. And I've set up a lever here with a piston on the other side. We'll go take a look at it. I have a glass block right here ready to go. So when the zombie gets in place right over there, I'll flip that switch and you'll see it in a moment, and we'll reset the trap. The piston will push that glass block, trapping the zombie in there forever. So as the zombie follows me, and you'll see it in a second, as soon as he comes to me, I'll hit that button and you'll see right over here, the piston pushes that glass block in and it will block in that zombie forever, and you can remove all this. Now I made a ladder here. You can use a water elevator if you want, or if you never have any intention of coming back up again, you can remove all this. But if you do make a little platform here, I strongly suggest that you make it out of non-spawnable blocks. So eventually we're going to have to get rid of this. So now we're going to go to nighttime. We'll have a zombie follow Noah up into the trap, and we'll set it and give him a name tag. Be right back. Okay, before we get this thing started, I'm going to come back in here. We're going to add our lava, and you're going to now. You really only need 1 lava source in here. I always put 4. It's up to you, but you want to put that on that block right above the signs. 2, 3, and 4. And now we can go back out and close this up. Our iron farm is actually just about ready now. So we're going to go ahead and turn it into night, grab ourselves a zombie, and then we'll watch Noah in action. Okay, Noah has his zombie following him right now. He's got a few zombies following him.
Another one.
He's going to come up into the trap. Let's see how he does. Comes in, drop that trap door. Oh, okay, he trapped him. He hit the button. I just saw it. The zombie's now trapped. We need a name tag on him, buddy.
Okay.
Let's see what name he gave him. SpongeBob Dead Pants. That's cool. Anyway, now he's all set. We could remove all these other blocks. We don't need them anymore, and we'll be right back. Okay, and that is the Lectern iron farm done and complete. Now, if you notice down there, the zombie thinks he can get through, so he's going to continually jump up and down. And these that you see, the librarians in the back are going to be not constantly in a state of panic, but they will be, especially at nighttime when they try to lay down. So they're going to produce an iron golem approximately every 35 seconds with this. And since you've name tagged him, the zombie will be there forever. Now, if you did happen to put fence gates because you bred your villagers inside there, make sure that in order for this to run, that once they are all adults, then you go ahead and remove your fence gates, or your fence gate and all of your fences, so they'll have a line of sight on your zombie, and this will continue to run. Now you see in behind me there is an iron golem that is stuck. He will come loose. That's going to happen every now and then, but this will work for you to get you tons and tons of iron. And so far, like I said earlier, it has worked from 1.14 all the way to 1.16.1. And I imagine, unless they change anything drastically, this iron farm will continue to produce no matter what version, from 1.14 all the way to present. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, click the subscribe button. Subscribing costs absolutely nothing. Same thing with liking, but it does help us know that we're producing good content for you. Hope you enjoyed this video from me and Noah. And until next week's video, we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.